Hi people, let's start today on page 102, okay? It is still lesson 8. Let's repeat. Sight, hearing, taste, to taste, touch, a sense, blind, soft, hard, blurred, to blur, delicious, fragrant, deaf, a fragrance, appetizing, an appetite, a taste for, fluffy, greasy, mute. Okay guys, sight is one of the 5 senses, okay? We have 5 senses. Sight, which is the ability to see, okay? Hearing, which is the ability to hear, to listen, okay? Taste is the ability to feel different flavors in your mouth, okay? We normally taste with our tongues, okay? To taste is the verb. To taste, guys, is to put a small amount of food in your mouth to feel the flavor of something. Could be a food, a drink, okay? Touch is one of the 5 senses. Touch is the ability to feel when you put your hands on things. For example, your cell phones. Your cell phones all have touch screens because we have to touch the screen to make it work. Okay? A sense is very similar to Portuguese, and I believe you understood by my first explanation. Okay? Blind is a person who cannot see. A person who cannot see. Okay? Is a blind person. Soft. Guys, soft and hard are opposites, okay? For example, wood is hard, okay? But my sweater is soft, okay? It's not hard like wood, it's soft, okay? Blurred is an adjective that we use for something that is not clear, okay? It can be literal, like my sight is blurred, because for example, if I take my glasses off, my sight becomes blurred. I can't see properly, okay? I can't see clearly. To blur is the verb, to make something not clear. Delicious, very similar to Portuguese. Fragrant is an adjective to say that something has a pleasant smell, okay? We say that it's fragrant, it has a nice smell. Deaf is a person who cannot hear, okay? So, blind cannot see, deaf cannot hear. A fragrance is a nice smell. Okay, it's the noun of the adjective fragrant. So fragrant, adjective, fragrance is the noun. Appetizing, guys, is an adjective that we use to say that it's especially for food, okay? So you will understand that the smell is appetizing, the smell is making you want to eat it, okay? For example, especially when my grandmother used to cook beans, okay? The smell was appetizing, okay? It made me want to eat it, okay? It was a good food smell, appetizing. An appetite is very similar to Portuguese, okay? So, when you feel an appetizing smell, it opens your appetite, okay? A taste for. Guys, a taste for is like an expression that we use to say that we like or enjoy something, okay? Not necessarily food. For example, I can say, oh, my son has a taste for math, okay? Because he's good at math at school, okay? He enjoys it. Or my son has a taste for sports, okay? He's an active child, okay? But, well, we can, of course, we can use it with food too, okay? Fluffy. Fluffy, guys, is something that is soft, like my pullover, okay? But fluffy is something that is very cute. For example, kittens and puppies, okay? They are fluffy. We want to squeeze them, okay? Fluffy. Greasy. Greasy, people, is something that is covered with grease, is covered with oil, okay? And mute is somebody who can't speak, okay? Is a mute person. So blind, cannot see, deaf, cannot hear, mute, cannot speak. Clear? Very good. So we have here one expression and one new idiom, okay? To keep one's head, it means to stay calm, okay, despite of some difficulties that you might have, okay? And to be out of one's senses means not to be sensible or think properly, think clearly, okay? To be out of one's senses. We have a similar expression for this in Portuguese. Okay? So, let's repeat. The 5 senses are sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. His vision was blurred from driving for such a long time, so he decided to stop and sleep. A dog's hearing is 3 times better than a human's hearing. The fragrant smells from the kitchen made her imagine how delicious her dinner would be. What a wonderful new fragrance. It makes me think of flowers in spring. She had peeled high the fluffy pancakes and looked so appetizing and started to look for the maple syrup. Sorry. If you don't have the ability to hear, you are deaf. And to a degree, mute as well. The hamburger was really greasy, so she lost her appetite. Very nice. Guys, just one thing, appetizing is not only related to smell, but also to sight, okay? If you see something that looks good, a type of food that looks good, we can also say, it's appetizing, even if it doesn't have a smell, okay? So let's practice. Remember to pause the video to read the answers yourselves. If someone says you are out of your senses, what do they mean? If someone says you are out of your senses, they mean that you are not being sensible and thinking straight. What senses does someone use when they are eating a pizza? When someone is eating a pizza, they use their smell, taste, sight, and touch. Okay? Well, for people who eat pizza with their hands, right? Some people use a knife and a fork. How would you describe a soft toy? I would describe a soft toy as fluffy. What did you not like as a child but have developed a taste for as an adult? As a child, I didn't like onions, but now as an adult, I have developed a taste for it. Is there a type of food that you think is especially appetizing? Yes, there is a type of food that I think is especially appetizing. If Tony doesn't use his glasses, what happens to his vision? If Tony doesn't use his glasses, his vision becomes blurred. Can you give me an example of a delicious smell? Yes, I can give you an example of a delicious smell, beans being cooked. I love it. What type of food is often greasy? Fried food is often greasy. What do we call a person who cannot see? We call a person who cannot see blind. Have you ever said you didn't like a type of food without tasting it? No, I have never said I didn't like a type of food without tasting it. Can you describe a penguin as fluffy? No, we can't describe a penguin as fluffy. What had Mr. Webb done before his wife arrived home? Mr. Webb had made a delicious dinner before his wife arrived home. If you are sick, do you sometimes lose your appetite? Yes, if I am sick, I sometimes lose my appetite. Had Meredith bought a new fragrance before Derek gave her one for her birthday? Yes, Meredith had bought a new fragrance before Derek gave her one for her birthday. Who in your family has a large appetite? In my family, my brother-in-law has a large appetite. What are the five senses? The five senses are sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. Do you prefer chocolates with a hard or a soft center? I prefer chocolates with a hard center. What do you believe is the most important sense? I believe the most important sense is sight. What international cuisine do you think isn't appetizing and why? The international cuisine that I think isn't appetizing is the American cuisine, because they don't actually have a cuisine, and their food is often greasy and often fried and not very healthy. Have you developed a taste for learning English by now? Yes, I have developed a taste for learning English by now. What animal would you describe as fluffy? I would describe kittens and puppies as fluffy. Do you think it would be more difficult to be deaf or to be blind? Why? Sorry. I think it would be more difficult to be deaf. Sorry, no, to be blind. Because our sight helps us a lot even when we can't hear things, right? For example, deaf people, they can read our lips, okay? So they have to learn it. It must be not easy, but still it's possible. Should we try to keep our heads when we are doing our exams? Yes, we should try to keep our heads when we are doing our exams. Had Mr. Webb put the TV on mute when his wife called? Yes, Mr. Webb had put the TV on mute when his wife called. What is your favorite fragrance? My favorite fragrance are actually citric fragrances, okay? Like from oranges or limes, lemons. Why do children have large appetites? Children have large appetites because they are growing up, okay? Okay guys, we are done today, okay? And next I will also forward to you dictation 7 in a separate video, okay? Thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.